Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today we're going to be taking another look at an ESPN Plus article. Today it is from Seth Walder of ESPN Analytics, and it is grading all 32 teams' off seasons, which is very interesting. Now, we're not going to go through every single off season because we just want to focus on the Bucs today and see what Mr. Seth Walder here gave the Bucs. Now, of course, you do have like the Eagles getting an A because LOL Eagles, but I also want to take a look at the other NFC South teams and see where they stack up. So real quick before we get to the Bucs, Atlanta got a C-. The biggest move they did was signing Kirk Cousins. The move that he liked, signing Cousins prior to drafting Michael Penix. The move he disliked, drafting Michael Penix at 8 overall. Not gonna disagree with that. I think that that's fine. You know, the Falcons did have a very interesting offseason. Carolina got a B-. Biggest move, trading away edge rusher Brian Burns. Move they liked, trading for Deontay Johnson. Move they disliked, trading for Robert Hunt, or signing Robert Hunt to a $20 million per year contract. Okay, so we have the Falcons with a C-, Carolina with a B-. What about the Saints? The Saints got a D. Golly, okay. Biggest move was drafting offensive tackle Tylese Fuaga in the first round. The move they liked, signing Chase Young. The move they disliked, failing to trade veterans. Well, there you go. And then finally, we do have the Buccaneers, who got a B. There you go. They got the biggest grade, or the best grade, in the entirety of the NFC South. Now, the biggest move was re-signing Antoine Winfield Jr., Maybe I would put Mike Evans above that, but that's debatable. Move they liked, re-signing Mike Evans for a bargain price. Well, at least he liked the move. A move he disliked, re-signing Baker Mayfield for a $40 million fully guaranteed. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the paragraph here. Spent to retain big names, Mayfield, Evans, Winfield. Mayfield signed for a deal that can be 1 year, $40 million, 2 years, $60 million, or 3 year, $100 million. It's a little more than I thought they should or would spend. I mean, we talked about that move ad nauseum. So many people have either loved the move or hated the move. It is what it is at this point. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And that's just how it is. It's really just how it's always been for Baker Mayfield. But, there's a reason the Bucs were able to sign him a year ago at $4 million. If the Bucs had guaranteed something like $27 million, Geno Smith, would anyone have topped that? Would have liked to have seen Mayfield do it again with a new OC, Dave Canales, blah, 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 before giving him $40 million. Well, we'll see. We'll see. You know, I do understand he's cautiously optimistic about the Baker Mayfield signing, it sounds like here, Mr. Walder, but, that's how a lot of people still are regarding that situation. It was Winfield, Mayfield got the franchise tag, made sense, signed a 2-year, big money deal. Evans turns 31 in August, coming off of a 1,200-yard season. Lags well behind those of the top receivers. I agree with that 100%. Like, the Bucs really did get a good deal with Mike Evans, bro. Especially whenever you see, like, isn't Justin Jefferson making like $35 million per year or something crazy? Like, obviously, Justin Jefferson is like 7 years younger than Mike Evans, but still, a lot of these wide receivers were getting real big money deals in the Bucs, and that just goes to show the relationship between Evans and the Bucs, right? Like, they both want Evans to be there for a long, long time, and that just reflects in the contract. Again, 2 years, $41 million, $29 million, fully guaranteed. You love to see it. Bucs got rid of Carlton Davis and 2 6th-round picks and getting a 3rd-round pick. I talked about that trade in the past. Thought it was a very good trade. Move made sense coming off of a poor season. The Bucs, this is interesting here. The Bucs correctly committed to Jamel Dean as their top corner previously. There was no guarantee of future comp picks if they lost Davis in free agency in 2025. The Bucs are not Super Bowl contenders. Okay. So saving money and picking up draft capital makes sense. I mean, they did spend that draft capital already, which is important to note. But interesting to say there, like, so Walder is banking on Dean being a better cornerback, one, than what Carlton Davis was. And again, like, I'm not disagreeing with a lot of what Walder is saying here. I do think he is reasonable to say, like, hey, you know, Mayfield had a good year. Cautious about that move, paying him that much money. I think that that's a fair thing. Mike Evans did sign a great deal. Bringing back Antoine Winfield Jr. was one of the biggest, in my opinion. I'd probably say bringing back Mike Evans was a bigger move, but You know, you could debate that bringing back Winfield was the biggest move. Trading away Carlton Davis, people may disagree with it. I thought it was good value for what you got for Carlton Davis, all things considered. Myself, personally, I'd probably give the Bucs offseason a B+. I'd probably go a smidge above. The only reason I would say B+, or bump it up, is because they brought in Graham Barton, which was huge. And they were able to bring back everybody, you know, that they wanted to bring back, right? Like Winfield, Evans, Baker, those are the big ones, right? People forget Levante David was brought back as well. That's kind of a big deal. But you did lose some talent. You still have some question marks, which is preventing me from throwing out like an A- or an A or whatever. What's going on at left guard? You have some options there, but that's just it. Like, that's still a bit of a question mark there. I feel like you could have done more to address the edge rushing position. You brought in Chris Braswell, which is great. You brought in Randy Gregory, which is, we'll see. You know, he's been a fine rotational guy in the past, but I felt like they could have done more there. Could have done more a bit inside linebacker. They did bring in some other cornerbacks, like a Bryce Hall and like a Tavier Thomas. Maybe you could have done a smidge more to bring in just some more insurance in case McCollum doesn't work out. Also, they brought in Jordan Whitehead, which is a good move as well, by the way, which helps that bump up to a B+. You brought back Chase McLaughlin as well, which is, you know, anyway. But there were still some other things that you could have addressed in some ways, which I feel like would have been some fine moves, like really prioritizing edge rush. Besides bringing back all the guys, right? And bringing in, like, maybe like a guy like Jordan Whitehead, I also would have prioritized bringing in an edge rusher. You know, maybe when they get that deal done with Tristan Wirfs, then you might be talking about like an A- type of offseason. But right now, I'd give it a B+. But what do you guys think? Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about this down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now. And go Bucs.